So we're here today at Gooders Grove Hostel. This is Appalachian Zen, Gooders Grove Hostel, and this is the beginning of a series of interviews with hikers and fascinating people on the trail. Today, I have a real treat for you guys. This is Jack, also known as Quadzilla. He got the name Quadzilla back in 2016 when he hiked the trail the very first time and stayed with us here at Gooders Grove. And he is back on the AT doing a single calendar year triple crown. He's well on his way and has gone 128 miles to Wayah Tower in 5 days. Wrap your head around that. Again, 5 days. So, how's your journey been so far?
It's been really good. I actually am surprised at how fast I'm going right now because I wasn't sure what it would be. I planned to train all winter, but I actually didn't end up training much at all. I ran twice, and I gained like 30 pounds. And since last hiking, so some of that was needed, but yeah, all I did was weightlifting and slept a lot, and so my feet weren't conditioned, my legs weren't conditioned.
Oh yeah,
from previous
they look like they're not conditioned.
hikes, yeah, but it
wasn't. Do you guys see his legs?
Yeah. So I'm surprised at how well it's going right now, and it's been nice. Yeah. There's another guy who started 2 weeks ahead of me that's doing another calendar year triple KS Express, so I've just been following his mileage. So it's been nice to have as a goal, and it's so helpful to when you see someone else doing it. It's like, okay, that's possible, so I'll do it too. So.
There's another guy named Tank Top. Have you followed him at all? He stayed here. It's probably been about 2 weeks ago or something like that. He's it might have even been more than that. But he was keeping it kind of to himself and everything. But yeah,
Tank Top.
yeah.
I get it. Cool.
I can show you his Facebook.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like? How do you feel like the trail affected you? Because I'm always fascinated by the transformation that people undergo who through hike the trail the first time, and I love keeping in touch with people and seeing like the changes that they make in their life from that. And so tell us about like your life after 2016, after your through hike then.
Yeah.
And how that may have affected you.
So a couple of things come to mind. Like one, before I started hiking, expressing yourself. I had this idea that it would be this great personal accomplishment and go conquer something big and whatever. But through the hike, it really realized that you're not doing this by yourself. You require the help of so many people along the way, like all the people running hostels, all the people shuttling, all the trail angels, just people that work at the grocery stores, and everyone that makes your packs and all your gear. And so really, it's the effort of thousands of people that.
Look at her face right there.
Yeah, it's just like the effort of thousands of people to hike, and so it really got rid of that like, oh, this is some great personal, at the end of it, it was very much like
humbling.
Yeah, and it was like this is it's not some amazing. I mean, it's a cool thing, a pretty cool thing to do, but it wasn't some like huge ego boosting thing that I could like lord over other people. So it's a very different. I think, yeah, maybe in the beginning I had these ideas that okay, I'll do this and then I'll be able to have this title and prestige and whatever, and then it became a very different thing in reality. And so and then I kind of feel like through hiking, it's like the Matrix, or like the Matrix movie, where Morpheus offers you have the green pill or the red pill. Like once you take or blue pill and the red pill. Like
I'm colorblind too, man.
Yeah, like once you take the red pill, you can't go back.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what through hiking was. Is like it showed me once I've been in the woods so long and kind of stripped away a lot of the trappings of society and
Like status-oriented society didn't mean anything anymore.
yeah, and it was just you can't. I don't know. I feel like I really can't go back. I can't. I tried doing office jobs again. I just couldn't plug back in because like this is so meaningless. This I don't really care about what my job title is or how what income or trying to earn a bunch of stuff and it just became very apparent how unhappy most people are and unreal like people's lives are and how we're just going through the day and then everyone's using their escapes to get by and like that's
Yeah.
people's whole lives
And often dysfunctional escapes,
Yeah.
sometimes functional, but often dysfunctional.
so yeah I just can't that's what the trail showed me I can't go back to that so then I worked conservation corps I did wildland firefighting did a couple so 2018 I rode bicycle from Mexico up to Canada first part of that was Arizona Trail
Wow.
that was terrible I had to carry a bicycle through the Grand Canyon
Yeah.
not fun
You had to carry it through the Grand Canyon?
yeah because
Wow.
they don't want people to ride there because I think
Oh,
the
they don't
idea
want
is
tracks and
well that and you'll die somebody will miss a turn and just come flying off the Grand Canyon
oh gosh.
or you'll knock somebody else
off.
off the canyon I think is the idea so you
Yeah.
have to disassemble it and carry it through and yeah so I did that and then hiked the CDT back down to New Mexico where I got sick and got off but so that was 2018 and then last year I started hiking the PCT and then did Washington there were wildfires went over to the Colorado Trail and then I finished the CDT after in New Mexico after that
Jack, you gotta forgive Jack. He just ate 5 plates at the Asian King buffet. We hit that as soon as we came down off the mountain.
It's something on trails.
Both of us were like, oh. And I
tried to
two
go to
plates, and I was feeling
every buffet and every hot spring. Those are the two things.
Nice.
Every buffet, every hot spring.
So while you were doing all that adventuring, you actually decided to live in a van temporarily, also, right?
Yeah.
So it makes it where you just realize your needs are very simple, I guess. And so that's why the trappings, literally, that word is indicative of the trappings of society.
Yeah.
So you were free of that, basically, and started living more freely.
Right. Because it's, the two ways to gain financial freedom is you either make a lot of money or you reduce your expenses.
Yep.
It's a lot easier to reduce expenses than to make money.
Or you share everything you have with people that are on a trail or passing through, traveling.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Well, it's like we have the resources for everyone to have everything they need, but it's people hoard resources is the problem. So, yeah.
So, what do you feel like you're looking at as far as on the trail for this Triple Crown, this calendar year Triple Crown? You're trying to do the AT in 3 months, roughly?
Yep. Yeah. So, if I can do every trail in about 3 months, and so the AT.
So you can do the PCT in 3 months?
PCT will probably be faster because it's actually 30-mile day on the PCT is fairly I don't want to say easy, but like
A lot easier than AT.
yeah. So in a 12-hour day, I could knock out 30 miles on the PCT, no problem. Like today was a 12-hour day, and that was 26 miles, and it's still pretty rough. But I don't have my trail legs yet either. So, but
you don't have your trail legs.
but it's true. It's like I'm struggling, but once I get going, I'll be able to do 12, 14 hours and knock out, like on PCT, probably knock out 35, 40 miles in that time. It's just much flatter.
Do you expect any problem with, what's the elevation on the CDT? Is it similar to the PCT, like where it's for pack animals?
Yeah, so both of those are flatter, and then, so, like the CDT has a lot of road sections, so those are easy. I remember, New Mexico, I was trying to get down to Pie Town, and the shop closed at 5, and it was a Monday, and then everything in there is closed on Tuesday, so I wanted to get a pie in Pie Town. So it was a 28-mile stretch coming in, and I ran that stretch, so I did that in 6.5 hours, those 28 miles.
Wow.
But, that's a road, and that's how fast it goes sometimes, when it's just, there's another 40-mile stretch that people will do in a day.
That's how fast it goes when there's food at the end of the trek.
I mean, that was a pretty pretty hard push. I was running half the time with a full pack, and but yeah.
So
So
the PCT this year, they were talking about problems because of record snow melt. But by the time you do that one, are you gonna do the AT, the CDT, and then the PCT?
So it'd be AT, PCT northbound, and then CDT southbound.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I don't think the PCT's got. You can't tell until it's April, really, how much snow they're gonna get.
Oh, okay.
So, hopefully they haven't gotten. They got a big dump in December, and they haven't gotten that much.
Yeah, I think that's when they were talking
Yeah.
about it being a rough year.
Yeah.
I guess that's maybe they were just forecasting that.
Yeah, they had a record December, but then if they haven't had much else.
So Jack is actually also an amazing photographer, and so hopefully I'll be able to attach some of his photographs to this video and edit it in. And otherwise, you can go to what's a site that they can edit your
just
photographs.
Instagram, Quadzilla hikes.
Yeah, Quadzilla. Show me quads. Or maybe not. Whatever. If you want to.
There's the quad.
He's got some massive quads. So, but yeah, you should see some of his photography of all the trails that he's hiked, and the places he's been out west. Is really beautiful. He's really, really talented at capturing the light, and what is light, but what allows us to see any beauty in the world. So, yeah, you gotta check that out. So we were talking about earlier the spiritual aspect of the trail, and kind of what is going on with people right now, or with society right now. And I think this is why so many people are being drawn to hike at this time, is because society is kind of unraveling a little bit, and people are seeing through the matrix, if you want to call it, in record numbers, and or having an opportunity to get away from it and do something that they've wanted to do for a long time. So what have you seen as far as that goes? Is there?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think when you see how many people are on
She's
this,
playful. She's playful. This is
the
Willow, the
squeaky toy
hostel
is pretty
dog.
distracting.
Yeah, it doesn't. Even
Yeah.
when it's not squeaking.
Yeah. No, I don't know, when you see just how many people are on. I think so. I've done some meditation retreats, and after each one, as I develop my awareness, I become much more aware of how everyone is in addiction to some level, to some degree, to whether it's food or it doesn't have to be drugs or alcohol. It's food, Netflix. They're like we're all using things to escape from our lives, and that if that is the case, that means everyone's lives are being lived in such a way that they feel like they need an escape from their life.
It's not fulfilling.
Yeah, like there's something fundamentally wrong with the way that we're living. If every single person, and then some people can cope with our lives better, but then what do they say, like 1 in 4 people are on antidepressants, and record numbers of people are having suicide. I think they said there's a crazy stat, like 33% of men over 18, like 18 to 35-year-old men are unemployed and like not even seeking employment. So like 33.
You've given up.
Yeah, and I read that number seems really high. I haven't fact checked it. Like that seems really, really high, but I think it's
either way, it seems higher than ever before.
Yeah,
and it's like people are seeing through the trappings of society, but they don't see something better to apply themselves to. But at least getting out and enjoying the great outdoors is a way of doing that. Yeah. Enjoying creation in the form of nature.
Well, I think I think that was what I felt. So I remember before I left for my first hike, I made a video and I said, I'm going out there because I haven't felt alive for years. we're trying to capture, and that's what people always describe on trail, that the trail feels real.
Mm-hmm.
More real than real life
Mm-hmm.
is the phrase that you hear a lot. So it's like, there's something we've lost in the way we're living, that people don't have a sense of connection, or this connection to their life, or their life energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's really the problem. Um, yeah, they're just missing that.
Yeah, money isn't fulfilling. Then if you're not working for money,
Yeah.
then like you said, you can if you can simplify your needs, then you can find a more fulfilling way of life.
Yeah, and then
So
and the
maybe
big
we're in an in between stage, and that maybe there's a great awakening that's actually happening. It just feels like
yeah.
off right now.
But I think
Maybe it's just
connection. I notice when I go home,
mm-hmm.
I'm really disconnected from people, and where everybody lives in their own little house, and you're driving your little car, and
Mm-hmm.
and that's the big thing on trail, right? Is you meet people and you connect with people in hostels and shelters, and
Mm-hmm.
that connection, I think, is
Yeah,
we've all
stronger
lost that.
connections than ever before. Like people connect or create lifelong friendships.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like you can hike with somebody for 2 weeks, and it's like they've known each other for years.
Yeah,
So the more because they're in a more open state of consciousness or whatnot.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's how humans used to live,
Yeah.
in our little tribes, but we've lost that. And I think that's part of what feels so bad about life.
Yeah. And so good about the
About
trail.
yeah. Because we're returning. Yeah, it's
That's
really.
what I feel like.
Is.
It's a tribe that is created in the process, and it's a pretty big tribe now that we've got out there. But it's good to see people still coming together about it. What I love at the hostel here is when somebody comes in and there are 5 to 10 or more other people that already know them from the trail.
Mm.
They've only known them for probably by the time they get here maybe 2 weeks at most, and yet everybody's like, it's like cheers. They're like Norm or Quadzilla or whatever, and it's like welcoming an old friend or something, and it makes them feel so welcome right off the bat, and then people are so open. It's almost like they're on a field trip in field trip mode. When you were a kid, you remember you'd go on a field trip, and that was like special, and it's because everything was so exciting and new, like every day was new. And then on the trail, it's the same way. So yeah, if you can maintain that, that's great. So how is it? I mean, it's giving you an opportunity to grow your photography and whatnot. Where do you see that going after this?
I made a decision that I'm just gonna keep trying to spend as much time as I can in nature, and then kind of just share that with people,
Awesome.
and just do that until I die.
Yeah.
And that'll be a life well lived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be a hermit.
Yeah.
Out in the forest.
Live. Yeah.
Sharing.
That actually sounds like a pretty good way to live. Yeah.
Me and Willow will come visit. we'll bring you some care packs, some trail magic.
Yeah.
So, well, awesome, man. I'm glad to see you out here. It's amazing. Which I've been following him on Facebook for years now, and the people and places he's been pretty astounding. So
yeah,
so it's
cool.
Quadzilla hikes.
Quadzilla hikes. That's all.
What do you think about the hostel now? Shameless plug for the hostel.
Yeah, you didn't have the basement or the downstairs all.
It wasn't done
ready
at all.
So I'm impressed. Yeah,
that
really
was
cool.
all storage back in 2016.
The huge van is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was really cool to just run into you today, and
so. Yeah, man, that was magical.
Yeah, like I got in all my miles I needed to do, and then got a Chinese buffet.
Yep.
Get to sleep in a warm bed. Last night was cold. Last night was like
the
teens, drafty in the shelter.
Where were you at last night?
Carter Gap shelter.
So that was 20. How many miles?
So that was. If I made it to Wayah shelter, it would have been 27. So
26.
Yeah.
You were just 1 mile short.
Yeah.
And that was my fault. It's worth it for the buffet.
Yeah, that's worth it. Yeah, that recovery's gonna be.
Alright, well, we're gonna get you back up on trail by what time in the morning do you want to go up?
I get up around 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, sunrise
Cool.
and then.
Alright, we're gonna get up at 6 and have him on trail at 7. And if you guys see Quadzilla on trail, give him a shout out. And thanks for viewing. And stay tuned. We're gonna do more interviews with other amazing people on the trail throughout the year. Alright, take care. Hey man, thank you very much. I appreciate
Happy
it.
trails.
Yeah.